global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back to our channel. Still talking about the issues in Rivers State. And guess what? The political landscape in Rivers State has been marred by a series of violent incidents and arson, primarily stemming from the ongoing rift between the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, and the Governor of the state, Similai Fubara, GSSRAs. Now, this power tussle has not only created a tense political atmosphere, but has also led to the destruction of properties and raised concern about the safety of residents in the state. And I think on this ground is why the PDP stakeholder is making strong demands on Bola Tinubu to wade into this case. And you're going to hear exactly his viewpoint, because looking at the situation on ground, it seems as though this particular issue in Rivers State may escalate to something unthinkable, which may leave a strong stain on this particular administration. Let's dive into what he has to tell Bola Tinubu. The former deputy chairman of the People Democratic Party, PDP, Bode George, has asked President Bola Tinubu to call the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, to order over the lingering political crisis in Rivers State. Recall that Wike, the immediate past governor of the oil-rich state, has been locked in a political battle with his successor, Simfubara, over control of the state. Also, there had been tension in Rivers State after Saturday's local government area election, where Action People Party APP swept the polls in 22 of the 23 local government area. It has been reported that Bode George, in a statement on Monday, raised concern over recent political development in Rivers State, warning that if not addressed, they could lead to a crisis with far-reaching security implications for Nigeria, West Africa, and Africa at large. The PDP chief then asked Tinubu to prevail on Wike to allow Governor Fubara to work and deliver dividends of democracy to the residents of the state. But the judge added that President Tinubu would be the biggest loser if democracy in Rivers State gets truncated. In his words, and I quote, he said, "Now that people of Rivers State have boldly asserted their civic and constitutional rights by coming out to vote in the local government election on Saturday, this is the time for the former governor of the state and non-FCT minister Wike to allow Governor Similari Fubara to work and deliver dividend of democracy to the people. This is also the time for President Bola Tinubu to advise Wike, who is one of his ministers, to allow the governor to work." I say this with all sense of responsibility, because if this democracy is truncated, God forbid, Tinubu as the commander-in-chief will be the biggest loser. All lovers of democracy will agree with me that political happenings in this oil-bearing state in the last few months, if allowed to continue, can lead to a reenactment of the crisis in the defunct western region between 1962 and 1966, which eventually led to the first military coup of January 15, 1966. Many of our national figures were killed, and events of that day led to a second coup on July 29, 1966, when scores of military officers were taken out. Since history is no longer taught in our schools, I want to remind gladiators in this Rivers crisis that the January and July 1999 taking out eventually led to the civil war between July 6, 1967 and January 15, 1970. Close to 2 million Nigerians were taken out in that war. I am raising this alarm because what is happening in Rivers State now is a cause for serious concern for everyone. My understanding of these man-made crises is that there is a despotic, divisive, wicked, and anti-people design to create a conflagration which may eventually consume our country. We all know the economic importance of rivers to the survival of this nation. It is the gateway to the Niger Delta. Any threat to peace in this state would eventually lead to huge security implications, not only for Nigeria, but West Africa and Africa. It is good to have political ambition to be the alpha and omega in a partisan setting, but these ambitions must not at variance with the expectation of the people. If I want to add my own to what he had said, I would say that it is good to be the alpha and omega in partisan setting, but we must understand that the country does not belong to one man. I can't still forget the words of Jonathan many years ago. He said his political ambition is not worth the blood of Nigerians. And I think this should be pushed into the mind of Wike. Yes, of Wike. He needs to come to that understanding. River does not belong to you, oh God. You need to calm down. Call your people to order. And just like Tinubu is being called upon, I think Tinubu should show that political maturity. We've seen this played out. We've seen betrayals in terms of Godfather and Godson. But some of them are very technical. For example, imagine Ambode and Tinubu. Tinubu did not put fire in Rivers State. He waited till that particular time that it was for him to go for second tape. And he did what he was supposed to do. Imagine if Wike was quiet, allow Fubara to keep running PDP, but still allow his people to be around and just keep it quiet during the period when it will be, when they need to select the governor that will run for, PDP. He will now come in with his political, strategy and everything, buy off the minds of the people. They will quietly kick this guy out. But you want to be so forceful, even to the detriment of the people. Now the people now are standing with Fubara. And guess what? It's not just a state thing now. It's very national. I'm talking about a situation whereby all and sundry, even so many people that were standing with Wike, as we are talking right now, most of them are not standing with him. We all know Body George was his very close pal. If Wike breathe, all of them will just, they'll keep quiet. But it has come to a point where they are like, even if you are the ones keeping me on, I can't watch this kind of thing go on. Because just as he had made reference to 1966, that's how it will also happen. This thing looks very normal now. But before we know, the economic life of Nigeria will be wasted. Just as he had said, the gateway of the wealth of Nigeria is actually Rivers State. If all the local government now begin to run helter-skelter and all of that, before you know, the facilities there, hoodlums will enter, will start looting things, will start selling off things. Before you know, Rivers State is now in a serious political crisis that cannot even be controlled. We saw what happened in when this guy started many years ago. These things, we should put it on that check. Many years ago, what they called them, Boko Haram, when they started, if Obasanjo had known that it would have escalated to that level it was, it would have been checked with so much speed. But nothing was done about it. And that is why when this guy came on board, Jonathan came on board and saw that same thing happening in Niger Delta, he started creating different avenues just to distract them and let them understand that we still value them. That was how the issue of militancy was put under control. The issue of Niger Delta came on board. Whenever issues like this begin to kickstart, and everybody seems to be behaving as Alpha and Omega and behaving as if they are the captain of Nigeria, it must be put. Imagine some of the things that have happened thus far. Emuaha, a local government chairman, Ikwere local government chairman, they still believe that they should still be, in charge of their individual local government while their term expired in the month of June 17, 2024. The Supreme Court came out and said the same thing. Instead, they are looking at men who are not even local, who are no more assembly members. That it is what they said, is what we are standing on. They must allow us to finish our tenure. What do you they talk? Say they allow you, your tenure had finished long ago. You're coming to blamblo everywhere. It can't happen. It cannot. And whether you like it or not, you can't be bigger than the country called Nigeria. The president, please, should hearken to the voice of these leaders and also to the voices of Nigeria. If you check the media, you will see everybody seems to be saying the right thing. Wike, your time is over. Bola Tinubu did you one of the greatest favors that most presidents have not done to other people. You are in PDP. Go and check other administration. If it ever happened, you were not just a hidden member of PDP. You were an open member of PDP. You've stood up against it stood up against APC at different times. But he said, for what you did for me, come and be a part of my government. He didn't put you as Minister of Mineral Resources. He took you to Abuja. Bros, why you not stay there? Enjoy yourself. Just enjoy yourself and allow Rivers State to be. As much as we know, the money flowing in Abuja, I would say is really much. How can you use 81 billion naira to build one, or is it 21 billion naira to build one tiny house in the name of, and that house was finished like 86%. You just came, they gave you that huge amount of money. You are constructing roads people are celebrating you there. But guess what? Your involvement in Rivers State is denting your political image every day. Oh God, rest. God has taken you thus far. Guess what? If you check people who started politics with you, you are the highest right now. As we are talking in Rivers State, you seem to be at the highest level. Some of those who were local government chairman, as at the time you were local government chairman, where are they today? Some of them are nowhere to be found. But you still have relevance, and you are busy disturbing the environment. The president should please call him.